10:01, good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. It was an electric day of World Cup action in the round of 32, starting with Brazil finding a late winner to come back and beat Japan 2-1. Paraguay pulled off the shock upset of four-time champion Germany in penalty kicks, and Morocco advanced past the Netherlands in a penalty shootout. The games start back today at noon with Erling Haaland and Norway taking on Ivory Coast. Kylian Mbappe and France face Sweden at 4, and co-host Mexico takes on Ecuador tonight at 8. Another big trade in the NBA saw the Memphis Grizzlies move on from star Ja Morant, sending him to Portland, getting Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray in return. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Brazil at the death is not the sentence I thought I was going to start the radio show with today. How you feeling? Where's your jersey? Where's your war paint? Where's the celebratory what even is this sound that you play? Let's hear it. Sent packing 2-1 in the final moments. A call, is that Ian Darke on the call?
It was Ian Darke.
Oh, man.
The great Ian Darke.
Did he nail it? I was so I don't know that I can't think of the last time that I have experienced sports joy for another person the way that one, I feel like we individually did, because none of us, we said we were going to watch the game together, then none of us watched the game together. So where were you? Were you at home?
I went home. I was in a safe place.
Okay, that's good. And then I think somebody texted the group chat when it happened, and I was slightly on delay, and I was like, oh, my God. How? Because I was thinking, okay, they won, but how the hell did this happen? And in just one of the more, what an excellent day of soccer, top to bottom.
It was incredible, man. I don't know what we did to deserve what we got yesterday.
Like, I was bitching and moaning about the scheduling of it. And yes, I would prefer to have that take place on a Sunday where you can just kind of bask in it as opposed to it being in the middle of the workday and things like that. But damn, to a game, they were all electric in different ways. But you got to be, you were a doubter, a non-believer. Robert tried to give you a pep talk in a balcony. You waved him off.
I was just scared.
Hey, what did I tell you, though?
You did.
What did I tell you? When you get punched in the mouth, you find out what kind of team you really are. And you found out that when they are faced with the land of the rising sun, it's going to set. The sun cannot always be day. Sometimes you have to be prepared for night. And Brazil did just that.
Yeah, play the sounder again.
Yeah.
Play it again.
Penguin dance. What's that dance called? Is that the Trump? What are you doing?
It was close to that. No, thank you to everyone in the F&M Bank chat. I love that you are all on this ride with me. Joy, relief, all of the things. FaceTime the family immediately after. My poor grandmother, for those who don't know, who has been in a rough way for the last couple of years. To see a smile on her face is a joy for that sort of moment. And, man, just for them to pull it out and survive in advance in an incredible second half. Carlo Ancelotti making all the right moves, pulling all the right levers, and it's Gabriel Martinelli who is the hero at the end. By the way, the player that scored the equalizer, the header to make it 1-1, is coming to MLS, and Casemiro is going to be playing for Inter Miami after the World Cup.
No, they don't get another dude.
They get another one.
For the bad guys.
They get another one.
No, that's not fair.
And they'll be in Nashville August 15th.
Well, they better be ready because Hani Mukhtar is rested. That's all you need to know.
That's right.
That's your analysis.
Yep.
That's great analysis.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
7 weeks off.
I'm telling
He
you.
didn't write you any analysis today, did he?
Reset and reload for the back half of the season at the top of the
Very
table.
brief. I'm now fired up because of the World Cup, and this is the desired effect to some extent, right? Because I really think if the games keep up like this, I feel like at least a portion of the American audience is going to stay into it, right? You have to be actively avoiding how crazy most of these results are. Like, put Sunday's game aside, that felt like a little bit of a, I don't know, like a palate cleanser. We've had a lot of electric games leading up to that.
I mean, it was a huge moment for Canada.
Yeah,
The biggest moment in Canadian soccer history.
Yeah, you described it as tense. It was the kind of, that's the kind of game I imagine Dawn Davenport watching and complaining about the next day. And I think I'm with her on that. I understand the implication. And it was a knockout round game, so there were greater stakes. But even like some of the games that were frivolous because of the expansion of the tournament, I've enjoyed because they've been fun. And some of the finishes have just been nuts. The U.S. should beat Bosnia. We've talked about this. They're favored. And it would be a huge disappointment if they were not able to. But say for whatever reason the U.S. isn't in the round of 16. I'm still going to watch this tournament.
I feel like everybody was kind of captured by it yesterday. And the stars are on deck today. Erling Haaland and Norway play at noon. Kylian Mbappe and France take the field at 4. But Brazil moves on. Hat tip to Japan, who got a tough draw to play Brazil in the round of 32. Just a good team, well-drilled, hard to break down. And again, they chose Nashville as their home. So we appreciate them coming and enjoying our great city. But
would he have cursed the Japanese today if they had eliminated his team? Because I think he's being...
that would have been cursing the other team if that had happened.
He probably would have committed seppuku if that was the case.
Make sure you have the correct term and you didn't just say something wildly offensive.
I'm pretty sure that's where they'd stick themselves with a sword.
Oh, man. No, I mean, make no mistake, it would have been the biggest disaster for Brazil since the 70s if they had lost yesterday. I mean, just a national disaster. So they avoided that. They found a way in the second half. Thank God. They now will play the winner between Norway and Ivory Coast. And then Paraguay does pull off the unthinkable, and they shock the 4-time champions in Germany in penalty kicks. Just the resolve of Paraguay to just gut that game out all the way through 30 minutes of extra time into a penalty shootout, a wild penalty shootout. And that goalkeeper, man, unbelievable performance from Orlando Heel, the Paraguayan goalkeeper who currently plays in Argentina, and I bet will get a big old move to Europe in some big club after his performance in that shootout yesterday. And Germany goes home with heads hung low. A Paraguay team that the United States ran off the field.
Talk to him.
In the opener of this World Cup.
Let them know.
That the United States completely broke down with aura and confidence and flair. Decimated Paraguay. It was never in doubt. A team that Germany, the 4-time world champions, could not figure out how to get through. And that should bring a lot of confidence to U.S. fans that watched that game yesterday.
USA, 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 USA.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm also glad that fraud Freddie is headed back across the pond.
Oh, you're done with Freddie.
Dude, well, he's a liar. He is a liar, first off, because everything he did.
Slow down. Who is he?
Oh, Freddie is this German Twitter personality that was sucked up by American influencers and companies and music stars. He was at a Ella Langley concert. He went to a professional wrestling match.
Why is he doing these things? Because he is a German national who has come to the United States to go to several World Cup matches and travel across the country with his friends, and he's documenting these things on Twitter, which is why it gained the traction that it did, which is why Ella Langley is tweeting at him and inviting them to her show. But the whole bit is that the entire time, in the least American way possible, they have not shown their faces. This group of traveling Germans, and the account is Freddie LA7.
Don't give him any pub.
It's too.
He's Freddie.
But
he's Freddie.
But
we can all unfollow him now.
No. You can't hate this person, because did you see what he said yesterday after they got eliminated?
Oh, my team!
Well,
no!
Sure, that's the natural response. I mean, we would have been dealing with it all day today if Brazil had lost. Are you kidding me? He'd have been in the fetal position for 3 hours.
I probably wouldn't have come in. I can't even begin to tell you how devastating that would have been to step foot off that plane in Brazil on Friday and just and just the vibe. I don't want to watch.
Vibe
selfishly,
totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Did not want to walk into that vibe, man. I want to watch the games with my family, with the people.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I get that chance.
So the point is, though, that he has this huge social media following now because everybody has followed along with Freddie's journey in the U.S. World Cup and to see the European experience, or the Europeans experience America and a number of different things like, Taco Bell and Buc-ee's through a German prism, which has to be a completely different spin. He's deleting the account.
Good.
He says the influencer life is not for him.
Oh, wow.
So not only did he not disclose his face the entire time, which would have made him, I think, a considerable amount of money.
He has 752.6 thousand followers at the end of this.
Verified on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's getting paid for the tweets.
Yeah, so he's like, all right,
He's making some money.
I'm going to quit paying for this now that I've been paid.
Yeah, I think, but he could continue to make money at an obnoxious rate for things that nobody would care about more than this because he's done a good job with this. And he's just saying, no, I give it up.
Well, the reason he's deleting his account is because everyone is finding out past tweets that he is a fraud. He has, in fact, been to America before. He's had American cuisine.
Oh, really?
So people are pulling old tweets about him trying chicken establishments and everything from here and there.
This is like a different version of the Matt Miller thing, which, by the way, oof.
No one can get away with anything these days, man.
Well,
It's
the
all out
dude was
there.
like, our flight was impacted. We're not going to be able to make it to Germany. And then the governor of Utah is like, I have a plane for you. He's like, well, actually, we didn't ever have tickets for that game. We were just going to go hang out. Like, I didn't want to make people think that I was actually going. It's like, well, that's exactly what you did.
Can you just let me believe that there's something good and pure in this world for 5 seconds before you tear it down?
No.
Bustin' Diamond says he's a CIA plant. I've seen that. That is a common opinion that Freddie is a CIA
He's
plant.
pumping up a lot of red states as he travels through them and stuff like that. He's bought and paid for.
He went to a TNA event this past weekend and took pictures with Matt and Jeff Hardy. It's like, you don't know who they are. You don't know about Jeff getting...
I don't think you can say that.
I can.
Robert, after I saw what the WWE looks like in Paris, I think I cannot believe how international that stuff is.
He's a liar.
Okay.
Well, Germany are frauds, and they're going home, and that makes me happy.
Okay, so let's start there because everything that you seem to have told Robert and me about this tournament has not... Maybe not everything, but there's a great deal of this that I feel like I'm misled on because I feel like there's upsets everywhere at this point. I feel like everything that I thought or had a preconceived notion about, which was very little research and just kind of listening to you talk about it, this is one of the
you
more...
thought it would be chalky?
I thought it would be more chalk. Am I wrong about... I don't remember a World Cup being this exciting. One, from a star power standpoint. Two, from an upset standpoint. I mean, I may be prisoner of the moment of this because I'm just paying more attention.
I think it's because it's so centralized and happening right in front of us and on our doorstep. I mean, this is every 4 years, man. This is just what it is. At the end of the day, it's like March.
Did you know about this? I feel like I've watched the World Cup before.
I'm sorry.
This is definitely the best World Cup I've ever watched. This is far and away the best
You can't
World
get
Cup.
pretentious now, okay? Now that we're into it, you can't be pretentious now.
It's like...
Because I'll check out so quick, buddy. Don't
I
even
know you
test
will.
me. Don't even test me.
I mean, think March Madness, right? Like, it's chaos, right? And you just see the stakes and the emotions and crazy things happen. But at the end of the day, it's the Dukes, it's the Michigans or whoever that are the 1 seeds competing for a championship. I expect that to still be the case when the semifinals roll around, for it to be the France and Argentinas of the world.
But Germany lost in a way that they've never lost before yesterday.
Yes. Now, this is a German side that is coming off back-to-back World Cups where they were eliminated in the group stage. Historically bad. And now they're eliminated in the round of 32. So this is now 3 straight World Cups where Germany does not advance to the round of 16, which has never happened before. This is a very low period in German soccer history, but it shouldn't take anything away from what Paraguay did and the game plan and the way they executed it all the way down to a penalty shootout. The scenes in Paraguay. I don't know if you saw I sent in some videos in Asunción, the capital of Paraguay. Just unbelievable, unfathomable emotion from these people, and you just love to see that. And then it carried into the Netherlands-Morocco game.
Pronounce the name of the city that Lucas just said, Robert.
Say it again, Lucas.
Asunción.
Absumción.
Close enough.
Did you throw a B in there?
He
did.
Okay.
Absumción. Tun tun sahuda.
Do it as the Southern lawyer, the East Tennessee.
Yes, he resided in the city of Hazumzahu.
Okay.
What Germany struggled with Ivory Coast the weekend before, though, right?
That's true.
Like they have. Did they have one? What was it called in soccer? A bout? Did they have one outing?
They their opening game was against Curacao, the smallest nation to ever participate in the World Cup.
Just like biggest accomplishment is being here, right?
Correct.
I would say their biggest accomplishment is that blue liquor.
Also an accomplishment. Yeah,
Blue liquor.
Curacao.
UV blue?
Curacao.
No, it's a blue
anytime
liquor.
like a blue motorcycle, you add Curacao to it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's like a liqueur. It's
A liqueur. Yes, a liqueur.
It is It is from a fruit grown on the island of Curacao.
Used to add color to a refreshment that you would be enjoying, similar to a mint julep, but that would be a mint
This turned into
blue.
the judge from Knoxville that didn't let Joey Aguilar get another
Well,
year.
I wanted him. We were doing voices, so I wanted him to do that one. I don't like the way that you say color in that voice.
Color.
Yeah, I'm going to step in here.
I got scared.
But yeah, Germany beat Curacao 7-1. But that game was 1-1 at some point, which scoring a goal against Germany is now the biggest accomplishment in Curacao history.
Okay.
They have not been inspiring at any point, and they weren't very inspiring coming into this tournament, Germany. I wasn't sure where they were going to find goals, and that held out against Paraguay, who just gutted their way to an appearance in the round of 16. Biggest moment in Paraguayan national team history, easily. And what are they rewarded with? Probably France.
Somebody on the YouTube chat. By the way, you can call us if you want to talk a little football. 615-737-1045 is how you do that. You can also interact in the FNM Bank chat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. By the way, we're going to put the the bowling link in the FNM Bank chat because we got the bowling thing coming up. You guys been talking about the bowling thing? We got the bowling thing coming up. Does everybody know about that?
Of course we have.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure we know that the bowling event is coming up. You need to get your tickets. The Raw Room has put together a team. We are going to have a number of we have a 3HL team. I expect that there will be a Titans media team. We're going to have all manner of zone personalities there. We're going to have a bunch of you guys in the audience. We love this event every year, and it's for a great cause. We're raising money for Home Street Home, as we like to do at this time of year, because the weather this week is horrendous. And if you are somebody who thinks that, because Stephen Young has talked about this with us before, Lucas, if you think it's difficult to live in the elements during the winter, a Tennessee summer with a week like this is lethal in a lot of situations. And so it is as critical for them to fundraise in the summer as it is in the wintertime when a lot of people are donating coats and doing good things, but it's a year-round situation for them. So we're trying to help them. We're trying to raise some money. We're going to have a good time. I didn't get to go to karaoke. It looked insane.
It was awesome.
I loved the different combinations of you guys that were up there doing songs together. I heard Will Bowling was an all-star.
He was probably the MVP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will and CJ, I think, topped.
CJ
Now that I don't believe.
he carried more water than he has ever carried in his entire life.
This was his moment.
He got up there and did Whatever You Like by T.I.,
It was
and it was stellar.
really good. Also
Okay.
at the bowling event, if you're into these sort of things, we're having a silent auction, which will also help benefit Home Street Home. A ton of different items, tickets, Titans things. I don't have a full list yet, but I love a silent auction. I love sniping people at the last minute and stealing a prize. You will have the opportunity to do that with us on July 16th.
Because you have in here and in the title of the show, the biggest surprise of Titans training camp that we may or may not get to because I'm enjoying this conversation very much. I bring up the chat because not only is Robert going to put the link for you to get the bowling tickets in the chat, and it's 3 hours of bowling. We're going to have a great time. I think 3HL's doing their show from the...
They are 3 to 6.
Yeah, so you can hang out with 3HL before it. They have a full bar. It's electric. Anyway, you know what? It's going to be fun. Get your tickets. Whatever. Somebody in the chat said Lucas can pronounce that city's name, but not Chamber.
English is second language, folks. You know,
I also
I'm
like how you say
overcoming.
saga.
Don't say that too loud. Somebody will come for you.
Can you say saga for us?
Saga?
No, that's not how you say it.
That I said saga?
You say saga.
Saga?
Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
I like it. I'm not mad about it. Potato.
You know who was mad last night? Did you guys see Zlatan's comments on the Netherlands?
He's a I want him on football games. I don't even care.
Okay, were
Just
you familiar?
eviscerated
Were you well? Talk about that first, and then we can talk about Zlatan. Well, we can talk about what? All right, everybody, take a break. Take a breath. We're very excitable because the day of soccer was electric.
We'll find the audio.
The energy has carried through. We're going to continue to talk about this. Hang out with us. I'm Buck Reisig. It's 104.5 The Zone.
It is 10:20, but if you're like me, this is right around the time where you start to think about your lunch break, best part of the day, right? And the answer is right in front of you. Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the new location in East Nashville, right on Gallatin Ave. It is open now. It has been for about a week. And guys, this is different from any other Hattie B's experience that you've had. Same great food, same great friendly people, that crispy, juicy hot chicken, scratch-made sides, banana pudding. Download the Hattie B's app. You can skip the line, order ahead. But when you walk into this place, you're going to see a gaming area behind the restaurant with cornhole and bocce. And then even behind that, a hangar event space with TVs, open air couches, pool, arcade games. And it is just a spot to sit and hang out and watch all the soccer this summer, watch all the football this coming season, enjoy a cold beer and some hot chicken. I promise you, you're going to find me there a lot over the next few months. HattieB.com or download the Hattie B's app today. Go to any one of their Middle Tennessee locations, but brand new and now open in East Nashville.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Guaranteed Offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jury's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair? The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no rules.
Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. And what kind of music is this?
This is Samba Rock.
Samba Rock.
Yeah, this is a band called Trio Mokoto from the 1970s.
Robert pronounced that, but as a Southern lawyer.
Trio Mokoto, yes, they've been making music for Brazilians and Central Americans alike. And when they come together, I can't help but just samba.
I'm going to abuse this for the rest of the World Cup.
Yes, this is delightful.
All right, get out of here. We're talking about the World Cup because the World Cup has been awesome. I'm not here to, start a fight and tell Robert I told you so. But summer sports, buddy.
I'll admit that I was a bit short-sighted on how good summer sports were going to be. But I will not admit that summer sports are better than football. I cannot. I will
didn't say
not.
that.
I met you guys in the middle. I met you where you were at, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm not. Why are you getting combative?
I'm just letting
Nobody's
you know.
getting combative.
Because you tried to bait him into being
He
combative.
100% did.
Leave him alone.
He is the ultimate gaslighter, dude. You're like a pilot light, like just trying to light the whole thing up.
I see a window and I just take it.
Leave him alone. He's in. He's captured by it.
It's delightful. So, yesterday was an electric day from start to finish. We had the start of the Brazil game. They knock out Japan at the very last second. At the death is not something that I have heard in play-by-play before. I imagine that's pretty common. I think I've heard you use that before.
At the death?
At the death.
Yes.
Okay, so you have Paraguay upsetting Germany, who Lucas has called frauds, and you have Morocco advancing over the Netherlands. Both of those games going to penalty kicks, which, by the way, on face value, I don't like the concept of penalty kicks. Because if a football game was decided in that way, I would be very upset. Because that is not the way to determine which team is better than another team. I would not like that. But the drama of penalty kicks, especially in a setting like the World Cup, man, You talk about tension, like you tried to sell me on that Canada game by talking about tension, and you're right. And, of course, it's an accomplishment, and they got a legit shot. But both of those games, when they went to penalties, I don't know that I've enjoyed. Robert, recency bias, best World Cup ever. It's because it's in.
I mean, it has to be.
It's because it's America's 250th birthday. It's because it's here. Canada, Mexico, whatever. The best World Cup ever.
Well, the thing about penalties is you had 120 minutes to win the game, and neither team took an opportunity enough to win. So it comes down to penalties. And sometimes, man, there's just nothing more compelling. But we mentioned the Zlatan analysis after the Netherlands game. He slammed their approach in this game. And what he said was, quote, talking about Ronald Koeman, the Dutch manager, I think this loss is on Koeman because I didn't recognize this Dutch team. And he lost with an identity that is not the Dutch identity. And that makes me angry. But I wish we had the audio because Zlatan and his Swedish accent and just his sort of deadpan, and that makes me angry, was incredible television. And the Dutch flame out. You guys watched Ted Lasso, yes?
That's the only reason I know who Zlatan is.
Because Zava, right? The character Zava was based on Zlatan. Did you watch Ted Lasso?
I didn't.
You never watched it?
I never watched it.
Yeah, it's positive and good and
true.
and all the good things about the world. So, of course, you'd never indulge in something like that.
But, Robert, you remember in Ted Lasso, when Richmond makes their turnaround, they do it by playing total football, right?
Which is like a lesser-used strategy that was modernized by some dude that they're a big fan of.
The Dutch, Johan Cruyff and the Netherlands created total football. And I know you have your thing with the Dutch.
I mean, okay, there's two kinds of people. You guys know this that I can't stand. And it's people that are intolerant of other people's cultures. And the Dutch.
Yes.
God, I can't stand it.
But the Dutch created total football, which is essentially positionless soccer, right? Which we can take that to basketball. The way basketball has evolved, where it's positionless, where your bigs are stepping out and hitting threes. So the Dutch have always played this free-flowing, beautiful brand of soccer. Last night was not that. They sat back. They allowed Morocco to have the ball. They played incredibly conservative and just tried to take their moments on the counter, which worked to an extent, and the game went to penalties, and then they lost. But they did not play their identity, and that's why they're going home. And Zlatan almost gleefully was stomping all over them over it.
Okay, so let's talk about this because I don't know how much you've gotten into this. I don't know how much the audience has seen of this, but you don't have to watch that studio show to know what's going on with that studio show, because it is the only thing that I can compare it to is Inside the NBA-esque.
I don't know about that.
No. But hear me out, okay? Because like the best studio shows that we have, Inside the NBA is the best. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
College Game Day is a studio show. Even though they take it on the road, it's a studio show. College Game Day, 1A, 1B. You could go interchangeable. People probably have their preference, especially depending on sport. But these are the gold standards, all right? This panel of Zlatan, Alexi Lalas, Rebecca Lowe, who, God love her, is just
legend,
head on a swivel, and she's excellent. She's the Ernie Johnson in this situation, and she's managing very.
And Thierry Henry.
And how pronounce it again?
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, who's of course an excellent player who's named. I'm very scared of.
Legend.
I'm just scared of his name.
Alexi Lalas. It's like that meme with the three dragons, and one of them is just kind of like goofy with his tongue sticking. That's Alexi Lalas in terms of playing career.
And that's all we've known as Americans. And they're like, oh, this is what the world thinks of Alexi Lalas, which is delightful, even if it's at Alexi Lalas' expense. And by the way, I really enjoyed him when he came and hung out with us in studio.
He was good, yeah.
You probably have a stronger opinion on him than I do, and I know a lot of people are opinionated on his politics.
American soccer fans don't particularly enjoy that he is like our representation.
I get it,
in
but I think he's funny. Like and so do they, but they basically feel like he's a clown. they're just kind of, he's little brother, and Zlatan is big brother, holding his hand face palm style while little brother swings at him. Although I did see Lalas get a good joke off at Zlatan's expense about being on Fantasy Island the way that he was dressed.
Made fun of his suit.
You talk about the chemistry they have on the desk. I loved this from yesterday.
A final thought, 2 European teams flies home today. I think well deserved from the other teams.
Yep.
Germany didn't show up. Netherlands played with another. Why, you want me to stop?
Well, sorry. I'm trying to wrap you up a little bit. I know. Maybe we should swap. I have to wrap you up because we have gone long. Zlatan, thank you.
It's James
Brilliant
Corden.
stuff. Coming up next here on Fox, it's After Hours with James Corden.
He just keeps talking.
That's what I imagine Joseph must be like trying to get 3HL to go to break. He's like, you're not the host. I am the host. You.
Poor Rebecca Lowe's like, we got to get out, man. We got a hard out at midnight.
Okay. There's a difference between Joseph being opportunistic and Rebecca Lowe doing her job. Okay.
Joseph does a good job.
Joseph to shut up.
Joseph does a good job.
It is an interesting dynamic that's kind of evolved a little bit throughout the tournament. It was just kind of awkward at first.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So you have the combination of the sport itself being electric, and the studio show is as compelling as what it's built around. I think they've done a great job with it. I don't know what it means long term for Alexi Lalas. Like they did a bit where what game was hosted in Seattle in the group stage?
Oh, multiple.
Where
the U.S. played there.
Where they sent Lalas to the one that the U.S.
played
was
Australia
playing.
there.
Right, so they had him essentially as a correspondent from the game. It's like Rebecca Lowe is sitting there in the studio, and they're talking about, don't worry, Alexi will be back with us. We'll go to him shortly. And Zlatan looks at the camera and goes, America, you're welcome.
Yeah, she said, Alexi's not with us today. And yeah, he said, America, you're welcome. It is good. It's good stuff. Well,
he's unbelievable.
You are our Alexi Lalas.
That's right. That's why I like him. Yeah. I was like, hey, one of us.
The most tense moment was early in the competition. France wasn't great in their first half against Senegal, and then they turned it on, and they're just electrifying. But Landon Donovan during the broadcast called France a little bit arrogant in that first half as the analyst. And Thierry Henry didn't take too kindly to that as a French hero and legend. And they were having the discussion about arrogance versus confidence. And Alexi Lalas in the postgame said something along the lines of, I think arrogance is a fair way to put it. And then it goes to Zlatan, and he says, ignorant people will call it arrogance. Intelligent people will call it confidence.
It's the accent. It's the fact that he sounds like a Bond villain while also being just funny as hell. Like
legend.
Unbelievable. Anyway, 615-737-1045. If you want to chime in, you can do that. Do we have things to give away for Oh No?
We do.
What do I got?
You've got
what's in the nebulous prize
hunt,
bucket?
Fish, golf, climb tree. You can go see Luke Bryan September 24th at Bridgestone Arena, plus a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
Okay, listen to me. All right, I want to hear this damn song.
I do too.
Okay.
Because
dealer's choice. Would you guys like to bump back with it, or would you like the regular music?
No, let's bump back with that song.
Okay. So everyone out there.
because the way that this thing feels to me, it feels like a punishment. Like that we're sending people.
A lot of people like Luke Bryan, all right? He's a hugely popular artist. We are in Nashville. He's not our cup of tea, okay?
What's the name of the song?
I can't even remember.
And
golf, hunt, farm, fish.
It's
golf,
incredible.
hunt, golf, drink.
It's an easy target.
Golf, drink, hunt, fish.
It is hilariously on the nose, but he has a lot of fans in Nashville. A lot of people will want these tickets.
Okay.
Blue jeans, cold beer.
Should we sing it ourselves again the way that we did last time?
I want to come back with that. I want to actually hear him do it.
Okay, and then maybe like karaoke. Maybe we sing along. 615-737-1045. If you want to call us and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no, and go hear golf, drink, hunt, fish with Luke Bryan, you can do that. 615-737-1045. We'll get to your phone calls on what in sports made you say, oh no, in just a second. There's a Diana Rossini video that is going to make an appearance, of course, during this segment, because that story will not end. My God. Before we do that, we have calls on the World Cup. Harold is in Bowling Green.
Yes, I got a question about the World Cup. I was watching the Netherlands and Morocco game last night. It seemed to be a very physical game. So how does the referees deal with the language barrier?
Great question, Harold. Typically, English is the universal language spoken on these fields.
It's the official language of FIFA, right?
Yes. So if you want to be able to communicate, now, most referees are bilingual, and if Paraguay is playing against, Ecuador, or tonight, Mexico plays Ecuador, I'm not sure who's officiating the game tonight in Mexico City or where he is from, but I bet that referee speaks Spanish, and he'll be able to communicate with players in Spanish. But the short answer is, for countries like Morocco and the Netherlands, most players can speak enough English to communicate with the referee.
All right. We give away tickets to Luke Bryan and sing along to Fish, Hunt, Golf, Drink. Coming up next. Welcome back to the show.
Okay.
Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Oh, no, I like it.
Yeah, it's good, Scott.
Oh.
Hey, man. They know how to do it. They know how to get in your ear.
Shut up. Hearing it with this twang does not make it better. You guys all stop. This is regressive. This is
jealous? Are you jealous that he has monetized his twang to the tune of tens of millions of dollars?
Do not do this.
Larry Reporting calls it the Verb Song by Luke Bryan.
The Verb Song.
I wish he had just called it that. He's just a bunch of verbs.
Oh. So, if you want to go see Luke Bryan and fish, hunt, golf, drink, 615-737-1045, we got 2 tickets for you. If you can call us and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no. I felt that we, for a period of time, were marked safe from any level of coverage around my friend and a former contributor to the radio show, Diana Rossini, and the former Titans, current New England Patriots head coach, Mike Vrabel. Now, this is not a Mike Vrabel element to a Diana Rossini story, but Diana has come to a new level of fame because of the scandal around it. There's this video that's making the rounds of a story that she told on Stugatz's show on Fox Sports Radio at Radio Row. And she's talking about how she got out of a speeding ticket because she was breaking news about Sean McDermott's firing while driving. Now, can't text and drive, even if you're an NFL insider. Not ideal. Not ideal situation. But the exchange has been caught on a body cam. And on the Radio Row interview with Stugatz, she's saying that she FaceTimed an NFL head coach to get out of a speeding ticket. Well, it turns out that's not true, but Robert has the actual exchange for us to hear audibly.
Can you see the name?
Oh my God. KOC?
See what I said? Look what I said to him though just now. Go to the bottom.
Oh my God. Wow. Pretty cool.
I love the Vikings though. They're awesome. KOC's awesome.
Yeah. He seemed like a good dude.
Your quarterback sucks though.
Yeah. So he's gotta get it. He's gotta fix it. He's gotta turn it around or someone else is gonna get him. What is Do you have your registration as well?
That's the best part.
Come on.
Oh,
so
wow.
she's holding up her phone and showing the officer, who she has since discovered in trying to get out of the ticket is a Vikings fan. So she's showing him a text exchange with KOC, the Vikings head coach. And in the middle of the conversation says, but your quarterback sucks. J.J. McCarthy, just stray out of nowhere.
Your quarterback sucks though.
Diana.
Do you have your registration as well? Do you have...
What is that the police chief of that precinct saying to that officer now? Yeah, because he didn't exactly, it wasn't the most professional.
Oh, wow.
Like, no way, KOC.
Like he's Owen Wilson. Yeah. Wow.
That had the same vibe of like hitting on your waitress, and she's like, so is it separate checks or? You're like, hey, baby, what are you doing working here? So is it all in one, or are you doing card or cash?
I mean,
card or cash.
Do you have your registration as well?
That's tough.
You got to be kidding me. So I talking about this during the break with Lucas, and Lucas correctly said, I feel bad for Diana at this point. I do too. It's listen, everybody, accountability for your actions, all these things, every part of her life is now being put under a microscope. If we did this to any human being alive in the way that it's being done to her, it would be unpleasant at some point in time, right? We've done stuff that we're not all proud of.
You can find any reporter alive in the NFL, in Diana's world, that I'm sure are not like 100% professional robot NFL reporters at every moment in their lives. So I do have a level of sympathy for that.
But it's just such a cringy thing. I did talk to her recently, and it sounds like she's doing okay given the circumstances. If you care at all about the human element of it, because she is still a friend of mine, even if we're making jokes about this situation. But that's a big oh no.
My oh no is Texas Tech. The dust has somewhat settled on the Brendan Sorsby stuff, at least as far as Texas Tech is concerned. But this comes out yesterday. I'm reading from the account of Ben Portnoy, who is a college sports reporter for Sports Business Journal. He tweets a press release that Paramount Plus is doing a 4-part docuseries on Texas Tech football, and the series has been in production since January. And Portnoy adds, what could they possibly have to document? Here is a portion of the press release. Paramount Plus greenlights Texas Tech Red Raiders football docuseries. Unprecedented offseason access into headline-making college football program is produced by Skydance Sports and Second Wind Creative. And an executive of Paramount says, quote, Texas Tech football has one of the most passionate fan bases in college sports, and this docuseries will give them an unprecedented look at what it takes to build an elite program. So Paramount Plus sets out on this docuseries. I imagine that will be very favorable towards Texas Tech. Their athletic director said, quote, this documentary will give the Red Raider Nation an inside look at everything that makes Texas Tech athletics special. The people, the passion, and the relentless pursuit of excellence that defines this program every day. We are incredibly proud that Paramount Plus selected Texas Tech for a groundbreaking documentary with rare access. Again, they started shooting in January, well before the Brendan Sorsby stuff came to light and ended disastrously for Texas Tech football. So, how much do we think Paramount Plus is going to document the Brendan Sorsby with the rare access that Texas Tech's athletic director is promoting here?
How much access or how much did you learn about Gio Reyna and Greg Berhalter?
In the U.S. soccer documentary? Zero.
Yeah. So
Can you imagine if they put this thing out there and they don't even touch it?
We've already let them get away with it. We've already let them get away with it.
It's a 4-episode docuseries.
It's a recruiting tool. It's a Texas Tech recruiting tool. You think they're gonna have any of the unflattering parts, like their coach talking about the gambling addict quarterback that they paid $5 million to come save their college football playoff chances, and getting up at a podium and saying, "Hey, he didn't kill anybody. He just fundamentally threatens the entire existence of the sport.
The entire integrity of the sport.
But he didn't kill anybody. It's okay." No.
Here's what the docuseries is from the press release. Set in the intense world of college football, the docuseries follows the Texas Tech Red Raiders as head coach Joey McGuire builds a new team identity during a demanding offseason.
Go eat bleep.
You know what a pretty big part of building that team identity was? Going out and getting one of the highest profile quarterbacks on the market in the portal in Brendan Sorsby. So they had to have documented that, which means they will have to some degree, tie a bow on the fact that Sorsby will not be playing Texas Tech, and the reason why. I can't wait. Can't wait to see how this is approached, because it is impossible for them to ignore it. It's impossible.
Listen to me. It's not. I watched that. Did you watch the Florida Netflix thing?
Yeah.
There wasn't any of the bad stuff.
No, but there was, but it was like, oh, and this happened over here too. Anyway, so this is, and then they move on.
I think that's what you're going to get.
I think it's going to be probably what we're going to get. But I can't wait to see how they
are going to be rewarded, because people will seek this thing out thinking that they are going to see something that they're not actually going to see. And maybe they'll throw in a little bit like a phone call from Joey McGuire to Brendan Sorsby or something like that. More likely a phone call from Joey McGuire to Brendan Sorsby's attorney in the middle of all of this, right? Because I think we have rewarded the behavior of them doing stories where there is scandal and actual things to cover that would be compelling in how they came about, and they just throw it in as an aside and tell you all the great things about what it is to be a Texas Tech football player. It'll even cure your gambling addiction if you let us.
I'll be watching.
Morons. Robert, what's your oh no?
Speaking of morons, Emmanuel Acho thinks the WNBA would be better without Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
The W at this junction in time would be better without Caitlin Clark, because she is a bigger distraction than she is an additive. Caitlin Clark has gotten the WNBA over the necessary threshold they needed. Now people are watching. Now we realize, there's talent in the W, talent that's actually even greater than Caitlin Clark. And I'm not just talking about bigs like Asia. I'm talking about the Olivia Miles. I'm talking about the Paige Beckers. Hell, I'm talking about the Kelsey Mitchells. Caitlin got the necessary eyes there. But now that the eyes are there, we don't necessarily need her anymore. Caitlin did what only Caitlin could do, and we don't necessarily need her to do anymore. Thank you, Caitlin. We can take it from here. Now you're saying that the WNBA needs to be cognizant of where they put.
We can take it from here.
I have never seen a more disappointing. Like he's not untalented.
He's an intelligent individual. You can tell. He's a smart guy.
Yes, which is why it's so disappointing that he is spouting this kind of moronic stuff on a regular basis from his little YouTube channel because he couldn't stop himself from having sex with Joy Taylor.
Is he not working for Fox? He's not working for a network at all?
Buddy, they cleared house of all of those people involved with everything. And the only one who doesn't look bad in the situation is Colin Cowherd, who is described as a very nice person in that lawsuit.
Can you
is the biggest winner of that whole thing.
Can you imagine if in 2016 someone would have came out and said, Cam Newton, the league is better without you.
Yes.
You are a distraction. That person would be brought into the street and stabbed with knives.
Buddy, we had it happen here. Some woman wrote a letter to the editor, to the Tennessean, because Cam was dabbing too many times in the end zone. It was a national news story.
Appreciate you bringing all the eyes, but we don't need you anymore. I don't want to play with you anymore. I think we're going to talk about the Caitlin Clark situation later in the show, so I don't want to dive too deep into it, but just ridiculous comments from Ajo.
Yeah, they're easy to just like wave off and dismiss,
Moron. 615-737-1045, the number. If you call in and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no, we'll give you a pair of tickets to Luke Bryan's upcoming concert. We'll do that coming up next.
11:02. Good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Another electric day of World Cup action in the round of 32 on Monday started with Brazil finding a late winner to come back and beat Japan 2-1. Paraguay pulled off the shock upset of four-time champion Germany in penalty kicks, and Morocco advanced past the Netherlands in a penalty shootout. The games begin again today at noon. Erling Haaland and Norway take on Ivory Coast. Kylian Mbappe and France face Sweden at 4 p.m. and co-host Mexico takes on Ecuador tonight at 8. Another big trade in the NBA saw Memphis move on from star Ja Morant, sending him to Portland and getting Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray in return. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second hour is upon us, and the second hour is a good one because that means we only have 46 minutes that we have to wait until our Hattie B's gets here.
You did it! You actually did it!
Yep. Sure did.
You never do what you say. You only say mean things. You never say what you mean.
Well, you got lucky because I'm hungry today, and so we're getting Hattie B's for lunch, and so that will be delivered via the Hattie B's app in 46 minutes from now, which delights me.
Oh, yeah.
I went fried tenders.
I went Southern salad.
Well, you said you've been eating terribly lately.
I have, and Hattie B's has healthy options, and I want those cornbread croutons.
I got a small side salad. I saw they added. They have a new app. Have you used the new app?
Of course.
The new app is wonderful.
Can you pick your heat level of the chicken that comes on your salad?
Yes, you can get it grilled or fried.
Ooh, I'm going to have to get a bite of that.
Don't stand up. I don't want to see anything.
Yeah, everybody's at attention back here.
The phone lines are at attention because we have Luke Bryan tickets to give away. 615-737-1045 if you call us.
We also have breaking news, Robert.
Really?
Breaking sports news.
Sports news. Okay.
Be-do.
It's okay. I'll wait.
Oh, is it not playing?
No, I don't hear
it. It was only for me.
From Shams. LeBron James will continue his NBA career for the 2026-27 season. He has informed the Lakers that the franchise can move on without him because he will play elsewhere.
Okay, that's the newsy part. So LeBron said, all right, I did a year with Bronny. It's your problem.
Where will LeBron take his talents next?
Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention to this. We did this morning on Fox, Golden State. They're talking about, so Draymond opted out.
To give them money.
Draymond, opting out does not mean that they are leaving. It just means that there is a contract situation that allows them to opt out and renegotiate. They're talking about bringing Anthony Davis and LeBron James to Golden State with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and finding a way to move on from Jimmy Butler, who just tore his ACL. So Fitzy this morning was calling them Olden State.
Nice.
Because they're old. So
Wordsmith.
That is news.
Jason Fitz. Okay. So Golden State, the odds-on favorite then to land LeBron.
I don't know if they're the favorite. The reporting has been that they are targeting him.
Okay, so LeBron and Steph Curry.
It wouldn't just be him either. They're trying to pair LeBron back with Anthony Davis. It's like, who the hell's going to play defense on this team?
Is anybody under the age of 35 going to be playing on this team?
Anthony Davis is
33. I would have said he's older.
He's a little older than me and Robert.
He's 33. Steph is 38. And if
LeBron's 41.
And if Draymond returns to Golden State, he's 36.
Okay.
Someone had all three of them or all four of them on a picture that said, "Who's stopping this lineup?" And someone quote tweeted it and said, "Arthritis."
I was literally just going to say arthritis.
Like a 9 p.m. tip-off or something.
What a send-off for Steph Curry. You get to play with LeBron for a year.
Yeah. I mean, he's still a good player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Steph's still a good player. Anthony Davis doesn't play.
Bring LeBron to Memphis.
That would be
LeBron to Memphis, and then Memphis to Nashville, and then we can have LeBron.
Yeah, let's repair some of those relationships.
Definitely not Memphis. All right, so we can circle back to that later on if we want to. 615-737-1045, the number if you want to jump in for
and
the
we will
opportunity.
talk about Memphis trading Ja.
Yes, that is also on deck today because that happened last night. For the opportunity to win those Luke Bryan tickets and a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa, which is as good, if you ask me. Tell us what in sports that made you say, oh, no. Let's start with Dan in Lewisburg.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Not much.
Hey, my biggest oh no is in the NFL. The Detroit Lions, they bumped to the street the immediate release of their cornerback, Terrion Arnold, following his arrest in Florida on eight severe felony charges and 3 counts, I believe it was, of kidnapping and 3 counts of armed robbery. Where the hell do these freaking NFL superstars think they're above the law? And immediately after the bond hearing was set at $1 million, that's when they turned him loose. So, good for the Lions. Screw these big-time NFL players that think they're above the law.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, maybe no vigilante justice. So the backstory on that is that Terrion Arnold was robbed and had, $250,000 worth of stuff stolen from him?
From an Airbnb.
And then decided to take justice into his own hands. Yes. And now is facing serious jail time. So he bonded out.
Yeah, for $1 million.
And the stipulations were he had to turn over his passport because he's making a lot of money. He's considered a flight risk. He was not required to wear an ankle brace or ankle bracelet, but could only go to his home or to his work. And so work said, no.
You are released.
I think it's okay.
He is no longer a Lion.
He's 23 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He just ruined his life.
It was about to be the 3rd year of his career. He's facing a possible life sentence. And not only did he try to take matters into his own hands, he did it and targeted the wrong people. The people that were assaulted in this situation were not the people that robbed Terrion Arnold. So he didn't get the justice either.
Even worse out of that, did you guys see Nick Saban submitted a character referral for the court case for him? So he said, in no time in my history with this player did he give me anything that would make me question his morals or character or moral fiber or whatever have you. It's like, well, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe he never did that, but maybe him kidnapping someone and getting them pistol whipped on FaceTime would change that a little bit, Nick.
I mean, I mentioned yesterday the relationship Terrion Arnold had with Terry Saban, famously Nick Saban's wife, and the matriarch of Alabama's football program during that era. That's crazy.
Would the Southern or East Tennessee lawyer be the defense attorney in this situation, or would they be the prosecutor?
It would depend if... was this player trying to return to college football for maybe a transgression that would inhibit him from playing at the highest level in the SEC?
I don't even know what that sentence means.
Well, then I would, if he was trying to get into college football for something, I would defend him and his right to do that. But if this was a National Football League
outside
issue,
of my jurisdiction,
yes, my jurisdiction has been impeded by the larger courts of Mr. Roger Goodell.
Is this the judge that only grants players access to play another year?
Have you been playing college football for 8 years? Then you're like, come on back, honey. Come on back in here.
All right, so that's 2 words I don't like that you say in that voice. The word color, because it scares me, and the word jurisdiction, because of the way that you emphasize.
The jurisdiction, yes.
Calm down.
To the phones.
Jonathan in Nashville.
We don't have a Jonathan.
Oh, that's a Jonah.
All right, calm down.
How was the whale that swallowed you? Jonah, what is your oh no?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Man, I'm a big Grizzlies fan, so just following this Ja Morant trade, man, I'm on Grizzlies Facebook and social media, just like the Titans, and both fan bases are pretty exhausting. But, man, dude, these Grizzlies fans just tearing up their organization, getting mad about Ja. Like, dude, he's played 79 of the past 243 games in the last 3 years, and he shot 23% from 3 last year. Like, I get it, like, losing a star sucks. Like, it sucks when we lost Derrick Henry and all, but, like, at least Derrick Henry was good when we lost him, you know? Like, at some point, you just got to move on. But, yeah, that's it.
Thanks
submission.
for the call. It's a good submission. Ja may be the most disappointing. I mean, he's not local because it's Memphis, and we don't cover the Grizzlies like that unless Ja pulls a gun on Instagram Live because, yeah.
But yeah, I talk about what could have been athletes.
He's
in
as
Tennessee
disappointing a Tennessee athlete as I can think of. Certainly in my, 10 years is not a significant amount of time, I guess, to make a judgment like that. But Ja Morant, for what he was supposed to be as the second overall pick, him and Zion both, man. And like, at least maybe, how old do you think Ja Morant is?
27?
He's 26.
26.
So theoretically, there's a world in which Ja Morant gets a fresh start, and it's okay for Memphis to move on because it's in 7 years, they haven't accomplished anything close to what you thought they might with a player like Ja. It's okay for him to move on to a place like Portland where, you can find trouble in any city that you want to. Ja seems to kind of lean into it a little because it's Memphis. So maybe this is a good thing for both sides. If Zion, I don't know what to do with Zion. Zion just seems
still
like
in New Orleans?
stuck in New Orleans.
Yeah. If you're a Memphis fan that's like all upset about this, just look at the return, and that tells you what Ja's value is right now. It's just 2 players, no draft picks, nothing.
They had to pay money to move it because of Ja's contract.
And compare that to what we saw last week with the Giannis trade and the blockbuster that was. We're talking about picks into the 2030s. So you think about what could have been with that talent, the heights you could have reached with that talent. It's got to be right up there with some of the bigger quarterback busts in Titans history, right? When you're talking about Tennessee pro sports.
Yeah, because there was a period of time when, you could have made the argument that Derrick Henry at his peak. Derrick Henry at his peak and Ja at his peak. How much of that coincided with one another? Because there's a world in which, and the NBA tends to make stars more and bigger because of the international popularity of basketball. Plus, it's a smaller pool of players to pull from. So, like, you're more visible as a basketball player. Derrick Henry is obviously a visible and noticeable player in the NFL. But you could have made the argument between Derrick and Ja when they were at their best that those are the 2 best athletes that we have. Derrick's a future Hall of Famer. Ja is just a resounding disappointment.
Ricky says Ja equals Vince Young. Like, that's not a terrible comparison because VY flashed, man, and you saw the pure talent.
There's parallels.
Rookie of the year, and then it just kind of flamed out, off-field stuff.
I think Ja
still has a chance to continue his career, but the Grizzlies had to move on, right?
Yeah.
It's the Cam Boozer and Zach Edey show in Memphis from here on out.
Ja's flash or flashes carried him for longer than VY.
For sure. But Jonah says, it might have been the same Jonah that called in on the FNM Bank chat, Grizzlies just got Cam Boozer. So I don't know why the fans are so torn up when we just got the best player in college basketball. Grizzlies fans should be excited.
There's a world in which he's the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
If you remove the variance from it, like he's the Carnell Tate of the NBA draft this year, where it's safe. It's safe. It's okay. And obviously the way that the NBA works, you could be a first round pick and not be a lock, which is kind of the risk at 1 and 2 with the way that those picks went. Who have we not gotten to yet? We have not gotten to Nate in Lebanon.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
No,
hey guys.
Don't do that.
Hey.
Don't do that.
I love the show. First time, long time.
I hate you so much, Robert.
My oh-no is the unfortunate news of Chris Johnson at the ripe age of 39 with the ALS diagnosis. Not only was he a stud, an all-star pro football player for the NFL, he was great for the city of Nashville. And I hate to hear that something like that is possibly going to take him sooner than he wanted. So that's my own.
No, it's a worthy submission, and I think the thing that we said yesterday is it's not a eulogy for Chris Johnson. He still is those things to the NFL and to the city of Nashville. It's just that he has a fight ahead of him, and he everything from his Good Morning America interview yesterday, the messaging around it was about the fight that he is prepared to have the best quality of life that he can in his situation. We're gonna circle back to the Chris Johnson story here because one of the more famous sports journalists, Jeff Pearlman, just absolutely eviscerated Good Morning America and their coverage of Chris Johnson's story because of the connections that were not covered between pro football and ALS, which is absolutely a part of the story that needs to be told, whether it needs to be yesterday in the middle of all that, or if it can be in the aftermath. I don't know. There's some conversation there. But yeah, it's a terrible situation for Chris, of course. Okay, John is the last call that we'll take, and then we'll pick a winner. Okay, John.
Hello.
All right.
Am I good?
Hey!
Yes. Well, typically
I
when
hear Buck say John. My bad.
Okay. All right. I almost snapped at you.
Yeah, sorry, guys. No, is the fact that, as we know, the World Cup's starting to wind down. We will be losing our beloved Freddie once he decides to go back to Germany after the World Cup. He said he's going back on the 23rd of July.
Oh, no,
Robert.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I knew that was going to happen.
What do you mean?
I knew
Robert.
it. Robert was not having it.
Just hung up on him?
I didn't hang up on anybody.
We were having a nice time.
We were doing good. I didn't do anything. I'm back here doing my job.
Oh, man. No
You lying to
Freddie
me?
hater, Robert.
Did you hang up on him? Because I was about to hang up
That's
on him
fine.
because his phone line was so
Robert
bad.
was never going to let him get the ticket.
Look at That's not how the game is supposed to work. You're not supposed to harbor personal.
Win. He wasn't going to win if I had anything to say about it.
You are not supposed to have anything. Well, I guess you.
All right, who gets the tickets?
He's a fake.
I like Jonas. Jonas is a good submission.
All right, yeah.
The Ja outrage, or the outrage from some Grizzlies fans about Ja being traded. Which
Jonah it is.
Can talk about a little later. 615-737-1045. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, which in 20 minutes from now, will be just getting shoveled into our faces. It's probably the least professional part of the show, but also the best part of the show. You can order Hattie B's, by the way. All of their Middle Tennessee locations now officially open. East Nashville. Looked like a great time. The World Cup. To be able to watch it at their new space.
It's a wonderful viewing experience, for sure. There are games today starting at noon. We get to watch Erling Haaland.
People are also complaining. Well, it's like not even five people. I would say like 3 or 4 people complaining in the FNM Bank chat about a lack of Twitter polls. You told me something during the commercial break that was shocking to me, and just another thing that makes me hate Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon ruined the Twitter polls. I'm pretty sure that because we noticed like the polls were having like 7 to 8 votes.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? The only votes that actually show up and count are people that have blue check marks. So
if you have a blue check mark, if you have paid Twitter, whatever it is,
then your vote will like show, like it will be one of the votes that says submitted a vote.
Okay.
That number that you see at the bottom of the poll. So it's like whatever.
So it's we're not doing the polls for 7 verified people on Twitter.
Like 75% of 5 people said, just like ridiculous.
So yes, also I would forget to do the polls, and the polls would probably go away anyway because I'm absent-minded. But this gives me a convenient excuse and also a reason to hate Elon. 615-737-1045, the number if you would like to participate. So the breaking news before we wrapped up the Oh No segment was that LeBron James is opting out. Well, LeBron is a free agent.
He's a free agent.
LeBron is a free agent and had informed the Lakers that they could move on with their plans of roster construction because his plan is to play elsewhere.
And Shams added that the Lakers did express that they wanted him back, but he wants to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think LeBron at his age, and you say that as a qualifier now, but
he'll be 42 like before the midseason mark.
You have to. At 42 years old, for him to be playing the amount of minutes that he is and to be as productive as he is insane. He's still doing chase down blocks at his age. It's absurd. Golden State, Robert, read me the Kalshi odds for LeBron James' services in 2026.
So they are ever changing. They've slightly changed since what I told you in the break. Golden State is the 69% chance to land LeBron, Cleveland with a 20% chance to land LeBron, and Miami with a 9% chance to land LeBron.
Cleveland Part 3 would be something, and Cleveland got to the postseason, and then it got dusted in the postseason.
Conference finals, but yeah. Miami with Giannis would be interesting.
Giannis, Bam, and LeBron, but Robert, your point during the commercial break was?
He's going to have to be point guard.
And I just don't think you can ask him to do that, to be that ball dominant at his age, for the offense to need to go through LeBron. Now, I know Giannis can do it, but I don't know. The Giannis thing, that feels perilous. He does not play a lot lately. It's not like bad, but
he's still crazy productive. I mean, his average.
No, sure, he's an excellent player.
8 years, it's like 30 points per 36 minutes for 8 years with Giannis. A lot of reporting that basically the offseason objective for Golden State is to land LeBron. So it does feel like that's where it's trending, like you said. But SportsCenter just put this tweet out there, a graphic of LeBron saying, what a run the King had in L.A. And the bullet points are crown emojis. So 8
Should be all the books he's read.
Oh, that'd be great. Book emojis would be great. 8 seasons.
Glasses of wine.
1 NBA championship. Won his 4th finals MVP. Broke the all-time scoring record, and played with his son Bronny, becoming the first father-son duo to play in the NBA together.
It's kind of crazy. He was there for 8 years.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that does not seem like...
Where does he go down in Lakers lore? He's an NBA champion. It was a bubble championship.
I mean, he's underneath Magic, Kobe, Shaq.
Yes.
Like anybody who won multiple championships, he's underneath him.
Shaq is considered the greatest free agent acquisition in NBA history.
Kobe's the greatest Laker, obviously.
Yeah, there's no usurping, I think, Kobe, just because, and unfortunately, the way that ended.
Yeah, Kareem. And then
There's
LeBron?
probably an argument that he's like 5 in a top 5 list.
And I think that's okay for like the tail end of his career into his 40s. Like he got him a ring, and that is a huge deal.
It counts.
It counts. The bubble counts for the Dodgers, for the Lakers, LA teams thriving in the bubble.
They all played in it. We all watched it.
Yep. Oh, we needed to. Otherwise, it was just going to be like 3 hours a day of us talking about the Last Dance documentary.
It was a tiny gym with a bunch of TV screens instead of fans, but it counts.
But we all know where he needs to end up.
Who got in trouble for getting strip club wings in the bubble? Was that Lou Williams?
Yeah, it was Lou.
Yeah.
Lou Williams.
Dixie points out, that he spent the most consecutive time on the Lakers than any other team. That's insane. 8 straight years.
Yeah,
in
consecutive.
Because his Cavs time was broken up by the Miami Heat excursion, which
That's crazy.
is where he needs to end up. He needs to go back to where it all started.
No.
He needs to go back. They have a really fun team, man. They have a really fun team. And if they're able to bring Harden back
Do you want Harden back?
I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially if he's going to take a deal to play with LeBron. But like Mobley and Jared Allen playing with LeBron would be awesome. And you get to play with Dwayne Wade's son, Dean Wade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, Dean Wade is a white guy. I saw him on the depth chart and clicked it. I was like, Dwayne Wade? It's like, nope, more like Wayne Wade.
Imagine being that D Wade.
Wayne Wade.
Wayne. He needs to go back to where it all started. Because when he left
That's
first
the
time...
worst option.
No, it's not. Because when he left Cleveland the first time, he broke their heart. I brought this up to you guys in the break. Lucas has never heard this. The city of Cleveland got everyone together. All of their news anchors, all of their sports reporters, all of their sports talk show hosts, all of the legends of the city, and they recreated We Are the World, but instead played We Are LeBron.
No.
Hold on. The big sign they're referring to is the Believeland sign with LeBron's arms outstretched to the world as he tossed his chalk into the air.
So who's the soprano on that one? Mary Kay Cabot? She hitting the high notes?
I didn't know.
So it's all media members?
Yeah, so it's like, as it's going through, they have credits. So Bill Martin from WJW was the news anchor singing.
Incredible.
Peter Lawson, who is the county commissioner. Ted Strickland, who is the Ohio governor. They pulled all the stops out, put all these people together to go, you don't want to go play with the Knicks. They stink anyway. They sing that in the song.
Amazing. What would be the Nashville version of that?
Derek.
Please stay king. I mean, you can use
We really need you. Oh, my God.
No other mark.
Can you imagine?
Who is the best singing voice, you think, in Nashville sports media?
Joe Dubin.
Can he be singing?
Okay.
Joe Dubin.
Okay. I mean, after karaoke night, I would throw Will in there.
He's got a family of singers.
If we are dude, you guys at his wedding, his sister was wailing it out.
Oh, really?
She was incredible.
That's awesome.
Like opera masterclass level singing.
No,
really?
It was so impressive.
Oh, I had no idea.
Like she does that. Like that's. I don't want to misspeak.
I had no foray into it about like what her singing chops or credentials are. Like I had heard from Will that she had sang like the national anthem at ball games. So I was like, oh, she's a good singer.
No, she's a legit performer.
It was undersold immensely.
Hell awesome. Yeah.
She is an insane talent.
Slay would have to be in there.
Oh, Slay. It just went right into my mind of Slay singing to Traylon Burks.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, it's not Derek, it's Traylon.
I've been happy. We really need you.
No, nobody needs you.
Stop breaking your bones and getting hurt and practice as much as you do.
You obviously you need to write.
You would have a producer credit.
Yeah. It would be me and Rhett Bryan cranking it out.
Yeah.
Rhett would be. If I ever do a parody song, I always consult with Rhett.
All right, I think we had just got an idea for like a zone next time something like this comes up.
If Hani Mukhtar,
for the sake of Nashville sports fans, I hope that there's been too much trauma lately. All right, like no, we don't need any. We don't need Jeffrey Simmons to defect.
That's what Jeff is the next one. Yeah, like Hani's not going anywhere. Hani's here. He's built his life here. Rest assured, Jeffrey Simmons.
I mean, Jeff has built his life here. That's his whole reason for staying.
But we talked about this when we learned about the deal over the weekend last week. Jeffrey Simmons got his deal. Like the Titans are building around Jeffrey Simmons. He's a centerpiece. But I think there is an onus on the Titans to not accelerate, but show there's a trajectory there, because we can't get to the trade deadline next year and there be no progress.
Myles Garrett Browns.
Because at that point, the noise will grow, where it's like, okay, you want to be a centerpiece in this thing, but the early returns, there's not this level that the Titans have to get to the playoffs this year of expectation, but there has to be some sort of trajectory, a proof of concept that shows it's worth building around Jeff, so that you avoid all that noise in the trade deadline.
It becomes negligent to a certain point if you don't take advantage of what moving him could bring. And I'm not saying it's a Myles Garrett type of deal, but Myles Garrett in Cleveland, like, that's the precedent. You have to do the unemotional thing if it's untenable. Now, if it's untenable, I don't want to turn this into a Titans conversation right now. But, like, if it's untenable, it's because something has probably happened with the quarterback situation. And then we're talking about much bigger issues, which I do not even want to.
I mean, no, but think about it. Like,
I don't even want to speak that into existence for the sake of this poor fan base.
No, it's not to try to create negativity. But if the Titans are in a situation in October with the deadline approaching, and it's been a rough season, and they have one win, and it's kind of rinse and repeat what we've seen the last couple of years, even with the excitement going into the season. That's whenever the Titans pop up on ESPN, that's what they'll be talking about, right? Is get Jeffrey Simmons out of there. So it is a little bit on the Titans to avoid that as much as possible.
Okay, so you guys going to let me play another snip from this Cleveland song?
I want to hear more.
Wait. Okay, let this lady go.
Whoa. Dude.
Everybody, hundreds of people.
I mean, they're fantastic.
I get goosebumps
They're fantastic.
watching that.
That's very well coordinated and also true because he's an economy. Like, he absolutely impacts the entire economic ecosystem of Cleveland and the greater tri-state area, if I'm being completely honest, because I don't know if you've been to Cleveland recently.
It's the belly button of America.
It's fine
better
during
than the rest of Ohio.
It's
the
fine during the
call
summer.
is shaking a pill bottle. Like, come on, man.
You imagine trying to talk like Kaharski and me into doing something like that.
God, you would not want to be a part of it until you saw the
if
entire
everybody else
scope.
did it, I would be like, all right, can I do something?
We would give you a triangle in the corner. you guys would have to be beating a tambourine or something. Like y'all stand off to the side.
Please stay Big Jeff.
At our bequest. Like, I don't even know how we couldn't do We Are the World. We would have to do a totally different.
No, I think enough time has passed that I think you could do a We Are the World. I think it's okay. Like, because what else are you gonna do? You gonna do a country song? And just go full stereotype?
Like something like country about
Johnny
leaving.
Cash hurt?
Maybe. I don't know. Give me some time. I'll write it.
Oh, God. 615-737-1045, the number. So obviously we covered the sad story of Chris Johnson and his ALS diagnosis yesterday. The appearance that he did on Good Morning America obviously got a lot of attention, attracted a lot of attention to the cause of ALS research, but there is one pretty significant criticism of the interview that was done yesterday that I think is fair from Jeff Pearlman, and you'll hear that criticism coming up next.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken that is here. Hattie B's is here. Robert's immediately going to leave us and go. All
right, bye.
Okay. Get the chicken. Get the chicken. He's probably going to have a cigarette while he's gone. So yesterday we covered at length, understandably so, Chris Johnson's diagnosis or the announcement of his diagnosis with ALS, because that's not just a huge news story. It's a very local story. It's somebody that has deep connections to this community and to the NFL at large, right? To professional athletes at large. It doesn't have to just be NFL. You saw the outpouring for him yesterday. And so, I just realized I can't go to the audio that I need to use here because Robert's not there.
Oh, you went to get our Hattie B's.
Should we talk about something else? Because I need that audio.
I mean, before, who is Jeff Pearlman? Because I had to, that name had sounded familiar to me, but I had to kind of look him up. He's a sports writer.
Yeah, Jeff Pearlman is a longtime sports writer who was at Sports Illustrated for a long time. Sports Illustrated has obviously gone through a number of changes. Jeff Pearlman is a human interest piece writer. He's also an investigative journalist in the way that we're not really making print journalists anymore. So Sports Illustrated has undergone, is it okay to call it unrecognizable change from people who used to, this thing was religion to some people, right? Like Sports Illustrated, to see who the cover athlete was going to be, the featured, the features in them. Oh my God, look at that bag.
Look at that big, beautiful bag.
Look, you presenting him with it. What are you going to smell it? So let's see what we got. So what is that?
Oh my God, it's huge.
Get off your knees. That's the salad? Yeah,
salad.
You said you wanted something light.
Oh, it is like it.
What did you get?
Save it for me.
I got fried tenders. And I also got a small salad, which I think the small salad is substantive. So we've got Robert got a quarter bird, dark meat. Lucas got a southern salad. Does that come with the cornbread croutons, or is that a different salad?
Look, you have cornbread croutons
too?
It comes with the cornbread croutons. I got grilled medium chicken, the black-eyed peas in there.
I have extra blue cheese, by the way. Don't run off with my blue cheese.
Oh, I know all these sauces are mine.
My mouth is watering.
That's not how that's going to work.
It's my vinaigrette. Thank you.
I also...
Thank you.
This
You
is
need
terrible.
3
No.
vinaigrettes?
I have a vinaigrette.
Here.
No.
This explodes everywhere.
Mike Buckner, the engineer, would walk in here and sacrifice you to the radio gods.
For me to do that.
There's your vinaigrette.
He would send you to radio hell so fast. All right. So for the rest of the show, we're just going to eat lunch on air and talk about it. Robert, at your convenience, I need this Jeff Pearlman sound. Yeah. We're all very happy our Hattie B's is here. HattieB.com.
Oh, man.
For more information.
Bacon bits.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the chance to eat your food in a second when I play this audio. Why do you think I have this set up this way? So anyway, Jeff Pearlman. So let me ask you, Lucas, as somebody who's in media, but you're a sports fan, right? So you can see both perspectives. When media, and sports media in particular, try to police other media, is that something that interests you? Do you care? You're in media, so maybe you have a little additional care. Do you think the average sports fan cares?
Yeah, I take note of it, but I also kind of dismiss it because I want to care about what everybody, the sports fan, cares about, and I don't think that's something the sports fan cares about. But this is kind of a unique situation.
This is a very important point being made by a person who is doing media criticism, and the criticism is of Good Morning America and Michael Strahan for what was left out of the interview that is pretty critical, or at least is worth including in the coverage of a former NFL football player who has since been diagnosed with ALS that has no genetic connection to the disease. It's called sporadic ALS. And so I had no idea, Lucas, that there was a scientific connection, an increased rate of occurrence for ALS in professional athletes, in professional football players, until I saw this Jeff Pearlman clip that was going viral, because he kind of loses his mind on Michael Strahan here. So this is Jeff Pearlman, courtesy of his TikTok, talking about the Chris Johnson interview done yesterday on Good Morning America.
Okay, we really need to talk about this. First of all, we know by now through studies that there is a correlation between playing football and ALS. A much higher percentage of people who play football, specifically in the NFL, wind up with ALS than the general population. It is a known thing. The number of times Michael Strahan, a former football player, asks Chris Johnson about this, 0. The number of times Good Morning America brings this up, 0. It is so f***ing irresponsible and grotesque. Michael Strahan, who's paid by the NFL, Michael Strahan, who makes his money broadcasting NFL games, commenting on NFL games, doesn't bring it up. He knows the tie between football and ALS. He has seen fellow players suffer from ALS because they played football. And you are so f***ing soulless, and you are so corporately owned that you will not bring it up. Okay, ESPN.com article. Headline, former NFL running back Chris Johnson discusses ALS diagnosis. All right. Titans owner Amy Adams Strunk releases statement on Johnson's diagnosis, noting that the former running back's leadership on the field, in addition to his impact in the locker room and national community, have written him permanently into the story of this franchise. The Cardinals said in a social media post they are sending strength, love, and support. The Jets and the NFL Players Association also released messages of support for Johnson. Then the article talks about ALS and what it is, Lou Gehrig's disease. Not one mention of the ties between football and ALS and the ESPN in bed with the NFL. It is so gross. Johnson, who is taking part in a clinical trial as part of his treatment, why does he have ALS? Why don't you interview someone who talks about the ties between NFL and ALS? How about one single statistic about studies done on football and the impact on ALS? It's not just irresponsible, it's grotesque.
So I do think that's a relevant component. And again, that's not, he's pointing that on behalf of people who should be informed about the risks of football and pointing out, I mean, what happened this year that we all talked about and that is getting ready to affect probably some of our friends in sports media. The NFL Network was acquired by ESPN, but the NFL now has a percentage ownership stake in ESPN. Good Morning America, broadcast networks with business connections to the NFL to think that it is coincidental that none of these outlets mentioned the science and the connection between ALS, sporadic ALS, and football. That's not accidental. And so I think that criticism is very fair. But I don't know, like his tone is so bad in that. And I understand what he's saying because I'm sure Jeff Pearlman has covered athletes in his time who have dealt with this. We talked about yesterday, Tim Shaw, Steve Gleason, O.J. Brigance. Like this is not as random as it appears. So when I see that yesterday, like I felt some level of, did we fail in talking about that? I had no idea.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. As far as my educated mind has ever known, there's never been a known cause for ALS. It's rare, it's random, it's horrible. I have never seen, we talk about this in the context of concussions, head injuries, CTE. It's a huge conversation in the NFL.
It's gotten a lot less in recent years, though. I mean, we don't bring it up nearly as often as we did. Like it was a moment in time. Not that it's completely gone away. And should a football player display erratic behavior while he's alive and come to an untimely end, and they study his brain after the fact and discover that CTE was at the cause. But like those are such, the fact that you cannot diagnose it until after the individual has passed is tough.
But this has me wanting to read more about this. Like, okay, is this a thing? Are there ties here that I don't know about? Because Jeff Pearlman is speaking as though this is common knowledge.
He is making some very serious allegations against Michael Strahan and corporate partners of football that I don't think that they're fair questions, or I don't think they're unfair questions to ask. I think his tone is, he's not going to, it's a tough thing to say, but I don't think he's going to do himself any favors with the way that he sounds. So I don't know if his message is lost on people that way. Anyway, we're going to get back to World Cup stuff here in just a little bit. Stick around. I'm Buck Rising. You're listening to 104.5 The Zone. My favorite part of the radio show is that it's fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. My favorite part of doing the radio show during lunchtime is that we often get to have Hattie B's Hot Chicken during the radio show. Listening to the three of us try and have various conversations while, aggressively eating our Hattie B's. Robert is holding a fan in front of him because he ate so much that he began to sweat during the commercial break. At various points, Robert was trying to talk to me about the seriousness of a CTE ALS football discussion while damn near choking on a quarter bird. Pause. Welcome back to the show. It's the final hour. Did you make it through your salad? That salad was huge.
It's fantastic. Cornbread croutons, man.
So
that's all you got to say.
Anyway, we've got World Cup games on. Ivory Coast and Norway underway. We will have France and Sweden later in the afternoon, and then the nightcap, Mexico is playing who?
Ecuador tonight.
Mexico and Ecuador playing tonight. I saw a funny meme this morning on Twitter where it was an Australian person in a kimono, and the joke was how Australians are reacting to being the only Asian nation in the knockout round.
Australia is considered Asia? I thought it was its own thing.
It is its own thing.
It is, but it's part of that federation because not really a lot going on in Australia's part of the world. It's like them in New Zealand pretty much. No. So they have to compete with Asian countries.
So like Robert, ours is CONCACAF, right?
North and Central America and the Caribbean.
So you've heard of CONCACAF, right? There's various soccer jurisdictions, for lack of a better term.
The governing body for our part of the world. Yeah.
Ooh, y'all know things. Woo.
Anyway, there's World Cup games on today. I don't even want to try and compare it to yesterday because yesterday was electric. I almost want to wipe those results from my mind and be like, all right, let's see what we got today. There should be some fun.
We get the star power today is what we get. Erling Haaland is playing soccer now. He is, I think, the best pure goal scorer on the planet for Manchester City, and he is in his first World Cup with Norway. They're playing Ivory Coast now for the right to face Brazil in the round of 16. And then you get to watch Kylian Mbappe and his greatness coming up against Sweden at 4 p.m. The winner of that game will play Paraguay, who upset Germany yesterday in a penalty shootout. But we talked about this yesterday, Robert and I. Messi gets his flowers in this tournament. It's absurd. He's on 19 now career World Cup goals in his 6th career World Cup. The record coming into this competition was 16. And it was set by Miroslav Klose, he's a German legend, back in 2014. He was 36, Klose was, when he set that record. Thought it was unbreakable. He broke Ronaldo's record, the Brazilian original Ronaldo. Felt like an unbreakable record. And then Messi, when he won the World Cup in 2022, we looked at that as what a send-off. 35 years old, he finally climbs to the mountaintop, and then he'll ride off into the sunset.
I feel like we've been talking about him retiring from the last 3 World Cups.
Well, he did retire from international soccer a decade ago because he couldn't get over the hump. He had lost 4 finals with the Argentinian national team, and he was almost vilified back home because you'll never be Diego Maradona if you don't have a World Cup, no matter how great you are. He was convinced to come back. He got his redemption in 2022, and we thought that was the swan song. And now here he is at the age of 39 doing what he's doing in this World Cup. 19 career World Cup goals. He's on fire. He's scoring at a higher rate than he's ever scored for Argentina. At the age of 39, he plays in Major League Soccer. But don't let it overshadow what Kylian Mbappe is doing. At the age of 27, France, when they're on, look like the best team, the most dangerous team in this tournament. And if Kylian Mbappe wins a 2nd World Cup because he was a teenager that played a huge role in France lifting the trophy in 2018, then he starts to enter this echelon that is just on another level, where you are suddenly in that Pele, Messi, Maradona category. Because Kylian Mbappe now is on 16 World Cup goals in his career, which was the record coming into the tournament, set by a 36-year-old over a decade ago. He's 27 years old. So he plays today at 4 o'clock. Take every opportunity you can to watch Kylian Mbappe.
It's the style as well that's been so captivating. As far as what's left in the field as we're trying to hammer out this round of 16 and make our way down or whittle this thing down, how should this thing go based on who's left and what we know about these teams so far through the group stage.
I mean, I mentioned yesterday Argentina has the clearest path to the semifinal. They get Cabo Verde, who are the Cinderella of this tournament. That is happening in 3 days. On the 3rd, they play Cabo Verde, and then they play maybe your squad, Egypt, if they can get past Australia, but still a favorable draw for Argentina.
I love that I have a squad.
You get to claim them.
Yeah.
If you have a passport, you get to claim them.
Yeah.
It's the favorites are going to be the usual suspects. It's Argentina. It's Brazil. It's England. Now, there is a collision course where England, if they can take care of business against DR Congo tomorrow in Atlanta, and Mexico beats Ecuador tonight, England and Mexico will meet in Mexico City. That environment may be the best of this entire World Cup. Mexico as the co-host, Mexico starving for a run in the knockout rounds that they have not had since 1986, the last time Mexico won in the knockout rounds, which is crazy. But England having to play in the Mexican heat, having to play at altitude in Mexico City and in that environment could make for a thriller of a round of 16 matchup if it ends up shaken out. But France and Argentina have been the most convincing teams, I would say, through the group stage as we get into the round of 32.
So we like to let Lucas think that he is our soccer expert, but in fact we do have actual soccer analysis back there. Robert, I would like your thoughts on Norway and the Ivory Coast.
Yeah, I can do that. I think we knew that Norway was going to be prolific in the attacking third with Erling Haaland leading the charge, but Haaland scoring 4 goals in only 2 appearances, and he should enter today's clash with fresh legs after considering Norway rested like 10 players in their 4-1 defeat to France. The Ivory Coast will certainly limit Norway's scoring opportunities, but I believe Haaland's ability to finish and lead his side to victory today will be a big part of that.
Yeah, it's great analysis. I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I'm
learning.
We wanted you to show the audience that you know ball, and then for Robert to very quickly know more ball.
He does indeed know ball.
I sent him a screenshot of the gambling.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. I was doing good.
No, I didn't hear anything.
The giveaway was you propping your phone up to read it in front of your microphone.
How else was I supposed to read
Well,
it?
the listenership can't see that.
Oh, they literally can.
It's just the F&M Bank chat.
We are live streamed.
A conversation I'd much rather have. Someone asked you the question, Lucas. Can you imagine Haaland playing edge rusher or tight end for the Packers?
Okay, so
let's do the reverse if we let LeBron play soccer.
That is a legit question. Erling Haaland, what position would he play on a football field? He is 6'4".
So I thought ESPN's got him at 6'5", so they lie for soccer too.
Okay.
Yeah, 206.
One of those. Okay, we'll call it 6'5". He is 6'5". The speed, like to pull away from defenders, I showed Robert this graphic where Fox had like the miles per hour over Haaland's head as he's making this long galloping run into the opposing half, and he tops out at like 23 miles per hour.
And he doesn't look like he's moving that fast because of length.
Right. It's like Coach Mack would say, he's just eating stripes out there.
Yeah.
So I was thinking tight end if he bulked up a bit, or outside receiver. Robert leaned outside receiver, if I'm not mistaken. I had not considered edge.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Edge is a little too light.
He's 206?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
he can't.
He'd have to be a receiver.
I also think, he's an attacker, so he's already has the mindset of, okay, I need to go, I need to have ball, and that's how I win. So I think making the transition to being a defensive player would probably be a little tougher. How's his counter press?
It's
the only term that Lucas taught me that I can remember.
Counter press. When you lose the ball and you immediately press to win it back. That's a counter press.
Because if you had a 6'5" corner at 200 pounds
recovery speed
that could play outside, that would be huge.
Or if you could play him at safety.
Haaland's an attacking player. He has to attack. Now, you can have that sort of mentality and play style as a defensive back, but the thing about Haaland is he's not going to drop deep to get on the ball and try to pull strings. He's just going to do his job in the box. He's going to be a finisher. If Haaland touches the ball twice in a game, he's happy as long as those 2 touches are back post finishes to tap it in or a header to finish a corner kick. So I think he's got to be an offensive player, just the way he's wired.
I think that the best spot you could use him in would to be an outside receiver and then potentially move him to the slot or basically be an F or a move tight end where he's not bulky enough to really help you in line to help with the blocking schemes. But if he's in the slot, he's a big slot. So red zone, anything like that where you can get him in a mismatch in the slot, I think that would be killer for him. But the straight line speed that you notice, the size, I mean, being 6'5", there's not a lot of other corners outside of like Tariq Woolen who have the wingspan to compete with something like that. If he wanted to be an outside receiver, I think he would have a better shot at doing that than LeBron would be to be a football player.
LeBron would be a terrible soccer player, guys. I gotta be honest with you. Oh, but you said for a football player.
Yeah, everyone always wanted him to be a tight end for the Browns.
They do it with soccer too. Like if we put the best American athletes on the soccer pitch.
The funniest one is Gronk.
Yeah,
like Gronk would get people would just be dancing around Gronk.
Gronk literally can't even play defense in his own sport.
After last night, I did come to the realization, though, I don't think that there is a more pressure-inducing moment in all of sports than a shootout.
I'm telling you, the penalty kicks are crazy.
There's nothing close to it. Like basketball, like maybe you have to complete an inbound and you're down 2, and so you have to hit a 3 or
free throws.
Like free throws.
The game on the line, but yeah.
Like a field goal is tense.
Yeah.
It's tense, but there's I don't know. Last night, especially, I think it's because of the repetition of it, where it's different shooters, but the same goalie. So if your goalie misses one off the rip or blocks one off the rip, it can change your whole complexion about how the shootout's going to be carried out. Like, I don't know.
The goalkeeper has every advantage from a mental standpoint because he has less to lose, right? The advantage is for the attacker. So a lot of goalkeepers love penalty shootouts because the pressure's not on them. But really, it's about that walk, that slow walk from midfield to the penalty spot. And to make that about 45-yard walk with literally the weight of not a city or a market or one fan base, but an entire country on your shoulders is something that is hard to wrap your head around.
You know, what's the talk radio scene like in Frankfurt? I should have asked while I was there.
Rough, man. No, like really rough. I imagine Julian Nagelsmann, the German manager, will be fired. I'd be surprised if he continues on through this, especially after how they exited the last World Cup. And meanwhile, Paraguay, today, the president of Paraguay declared June 30th a national holiday.
Stop it.
So nobody's working today in Paraguay.
Why is
Nobody's going to school.
Why are they so much better at sports than we are? I mean, in terms of like embracing sports.
Well, I mean,
we can't even get the Super Bowl Monday off.
Come on.
What do we got to do to get Super Bowl Monday?
That's what I'm saying. Well,
it's not that big of an ask.
No, the NFL has your answer. They're just going to extend your season. They're going to squeeze every ounce of this and that because they've come for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's on.
Isn't it on? It is literally this godforsaken thing is on Valentine's Day this year. To the chagrin of every woman in America and any significant other in America.
When's President's Day 2027? February 15th. So we won't be off, but America will be off on Super Bowl Monday.
They've ran statistics. That is the least productive day of the entire American calendar is the day after the Super Bowl.
Well, because you've eaten all kind of food that just makes you want to sleep the entire time and drank probably a little too much, whether you're beer, whether you're getting into the brown liquor as the game wanes on, depending on if you're a fan of the team, maybe you're housed because it's not going the way that you thought it would. No, it's well, Robert, I was saying this earlier. You may have been busy doing something. I don't know. But I said that there's not a more dramatic. I echoed your sentiment essentially in the first hour, saying I don't think there's a greater drama than penalty kicks in the World Cup. Because I said, in principle, I don't like the idea of a competitive game of any kind ending that way. In football, if we decided if there was a segment of football overtime that was decided only by kickers, I would hate that. I would hate that because that's not the way to decide the best football team. They barely count as players.
Well, it would be different, right? Because kickers aren't the ones determining the majority of that game.
Right. So that's the thing. Like that's the closest approximation in NFL football that I could come up with. The college football overtime, plenty of people don't like the way the college football overtime is set up for a variety of reasons. But in principle, I don't like the concept of what penalty kicks represent. But it's different because the principal parties involved are the ones who are taking the penalty kicks.
And it's funny, the different nations that have different experiences with penalty kicks. I've always loved the drama of a penalty shootout. And there are countries like England that have time and time again been eliminated from World Cups via penalty shootout. So there is a level of whatever their version of BVS is associated with that. Germany historically has been excellent in penalty shootouts.
Well, that's the first penalty shootout that they've lost,
correct,
right?
In a World Cup. And it comes against Paraguay, just a pesky, scrappy South American squad.
Which means that we're better than Germany.
we are transitive property better than Germany.
Two-time World War champ. I would like the NFL equivalent of shootouts. No more overtime. 1 yard line.
Just take turns
5 times in a row.
No.
Yes.
Just mashing.
No.
Yes. It's the same thing.
You
The
can't
defense
ever
only
say
has to
anything
stop
about player safety ever again. You're going to get a running back killed.
Okay. All of them QB sneaks then. All of them are tush pushes. Everybody from the 1 yard line, and then it's the same thing. Defense has only got to stop one. Yeah, like they're expected to get this. They only got to stop one of them.
Onus is on the attacker.
You're right. Not 5. Best of 3.
I'm in.
It would be electric. You're telling me they both line up? It's New England and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl overtime. They line up. 2 tush pushes on both sides go in, and now they're waiting.
Are you saying?
And Seattle gets stopped, and then New England goes up, and they have 1 tush push to win the whole game.
I don't want football games decided on a tush push.
But are you saying after?
Well, they're decided on a kick.
Are you saying if there's not a winner in the 10-minute overtime period?
No.
Oh, go straight to
get rid of overtime.
I just hate that we have football games that end in ties. Like, I understand, like, you just have to end it at a certain point for the sake of human bodies.
Sometimes no one deserves to win.
Yeah, it's not for the sake of everybody involved.
It's participation trophy. There's got to be a winner. What are you just giving out this participation trophy culture?
What's going on?
Somebody's got to win.
What's going on with Norway and the Ivory Coast? What's going on?
Scoreless 18 minutes in.
Okay, we'll keep you updated in the first half of the first action of the World Cup day. We have 3 matches on deck. We're going to talk about the most toxic sport that we have in the American sports culture right now, women's basketball, next. When's the last time we talked about the WNBA?
I don't know.
Probably when we were potentially going to get a team, the Tennessee Summit.
Yeah.
Which I still think is, I would love to see that happen eventually. We are talking a lot more about the WNBA on the national show, and Fitzy and I, Jason Fitz, who hosts Yahoo Sports Daily on a daily basis, as indicated by the name, and he's my co-host on Fox Sports Radio. They are having us fill in for Brady Quinn and LeVar Arrington in the mornings, Monday, today, and on Friday. So we talk a fair amount of WNBA, and I mean, it's really, when I say WNBA, it's a fair amount of Caitlin Clark. I think after having, seen the last couple of weeks of Caitlin Clark coverage and WNBA coverage, is there a more toxic sports league right now than the WNBA? From a dialogue standpoint.
Like within itself?
Within itself, the kind of subjects that seem to come out, the kind of subjects that seem to catch or capture the most amount of attention. We're not talking about the WNBA season. We're not talking about, for example, Asia Wilson or the Las Vegas Aces, who have been excellent this year. We talk about Caitlin Clark, or many of us, if you're not actually watching the W, and their ratings for Caitlin Clark games are significantly higher than they are for any of the other teams in the league. It's just quantifiable. So if you're not talking much about Caitlin Clark, there's not much dialogue around the WNBA from a large-scale media standpoint, right? Would you have known that Asia Wilson, and it's not an indictment of either of you, but I was asking, you two asked me this morning, who's the best player in the WNBA? I said Asia Wilson. And, Robert started doing a funny bit about naming names that weren't actual people.
No, I admit that all of these WNBA stars, when I think of Asia Wilson, when I think of Sabrina Ionescu, when I picture them, I'm still picturing them in their college uniform and doing things for UConn and South Carolina and even Caitlin
Oregon,
Clark. Iowa. Yeah. That's me. So, yeah, that is a blind spot for me. I can also understand this frustration that WNBA media, former players, current players have with the fact that the only time the WNBA makes it into the larger conversation is around Caitlin Clark.
And those conversations tend to take on a level of like politicized.
Yeah, and like
she's not a political figure.
And protecting her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she is essentially being protected by a portion of the population that she does not necessarily represent. And being done so in a way that has created, racial tensions in the way that the WNBA is discussed, that she does not herself encourage or foment, right? She got somebody, I'm forgetting the player's name, who essentially used her fist to put it in Caitlin Clark's, to balance herself on Caitlin Clark's throat. Yeah. To get up off a pile. And it was dismissed as being, bang, bang play type of situation. Many people have gravitated towards Caitlin Clark being egregiously fouled or not necessarily protected by officials because she does seem to get in a lot of these situations. People have alleged jealousy on the part of other athletes in the league that don't make as much money as she does. Whatever your conspiracy theory around what happened there and why it happens to Caitlin Clark. Alyssa Thomas is the forward for the Phoenix Mercury who was suspended for this action after the fact. And Stephanie White, who's the coach of the Indiana Fever, went nuclear in a post-game press conference, citing the officials not doing anything in real time. There hasn't been consistency from the officials. It's the same conversation you could have in any sport, right? It's the thing that coaches beg and plead for, except this is involving an altercation, not an altercation, but a something that should have been a flagrant foul and something that should have come with an immediate suspension as opposed to one retroactively. And you see,
and it's only a one-game suspension.
Only a one-game suspension, And you see, Lucas, people telling on themselves who are talking about this, and I don't mean to, go after Chiney Ogwumike, who's a pundit on ESPN. She's on their NBA Live show that comes on right before NFL Live on ESPN's daytime programming. She has played professional basketball in her career, and she's basically talking about the gymnastics necessary to say that Caitlin Clark, that they're narratives, that we are creating our own narratives based off of a freeze frame image of that specific image with Alyssa Thomas's fist resting on Caitlin Clark's literal jugular. And that's the way that she gets up off the pile. So then when Alyssa Thomas is suspended, Chiney Ogwumike looks ridiculous for trying to say, no, narratives are being created. And then the league suspends Alyssa Thomas. I don't know that there's a league with more toxic dialogue. Obviously, the NFL during the Kaepernick stuff led the league, no pun intended, with this. But the WNBA has taken on, what's a huge resurgence, a huge come up around Caitlin Clark and college star power coming to, because it's not just Caitlin, right? She's not close to the best player in the league. Paige Beckers is an excellent young player. You brought up Sabrina Ionescu, right? There are great stars. Asia Wilson. There are great stars in the WNBA who are better players than Caitlin Clark, but she seems to gravitate the most attention. The most amount of coverage comes around Caitlin Clark dialogue.
The WNBA does the WNBA at any phase of the season rate better than women's college basketball?
I don't have the answer to that. I don't know.
Like if you had to guess, I'd be pretty surprised. I would be surprised, if, like the WNBA finals rated better than the women's Final Four. I'd be surprised.
It probably depends on the year.
Yeah.
But even then,
I think Caitlin Clark is in it.
Or is UConn in it? I mean, I don't know if is South Carolina carrying TV ratings that way. I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know. I watched the women's Final Four. I love the women's tournament in general. There is this disconnect though, because every time this happens, there are WNBA players that clearly there's a target on Caitlin Clark's back, right? She is this beloved child of the WNBA, and these are professional athletes.
Yeah.
Right? With that mindset of, oh, you're this darling. Okay, well, we're going to kick your ass. Yeah. Like, I don't fault a single WNBA player. Yeah, it's just being competitive.
Yeah.
So then you have a whole sect of people that parachute in when these things happen that
conveniently parachute in.
Right, and that never watch a second of WNBA basketball.
Hate Angel Reese, but don't actually watch Angel Reese's
Don't watch
games.
a minute of it. And this is not me saying that, like, I don't actively watch the WNBA.
Right.
But there is a sect of people that parachute in when things like this happen and say, oh, you should be thanking Caitlin Clark for the attention she's bringing to this league and the light that she's shining on women. She's the best thing to happen to women's basketball. I can't believe. But, like, these are professional athletes.
Yeah.
In what world are these athletes that want to beat the person in front of them bowing down to somebody because they're bringing more exposure to the league? There's kind of this disconnect there every time this conversation comes up.
And who's not yet a good player. She's objectively, I mean, she dealt with injury last year, Caitlin Clark. She's not a good player yet in the WNBA. Relative to, I mean, she has moments, right? She's clearly talented, but she's nowhere close to the best player in that league, which brings up this Lisa Leslie clip from CBS Sports. Because how often do you think this happens? Would we say that Caitlin Clark, for right or wrong, is the face of the WNBA right now?
Yeah, she is to, like, the majority of America when they think WNBA or women's basketball in general. Name a player, it's Caitlin Clark.
So when Lisa Leslie says this and gets pushback on CBS Sports, I wonder what you make of this clip.
Oh, Lisa, do you expect Asia to do Asia things?
Well, Asia, I feel like I didn't edify her enough of what she's capable of.
Edify.
Asia has scored
Nice word.
69% of the Aces points in the paint. And I'm talking about over the last 5 years, people. This woman in the paint gets it done. And it's a plethora of moves. The left hand, over the shoulder. She can go right, but it's coming with the step back. The jumpers are on point, whether it's the mid-range or get into the paint. I just love that she has always continued to broaden her game when we look at her career over the extent that she's been in the WNBA. So not just the MVP on offense, but also defense, improving in shot blocking, rebounding. Not quite. We need one more rebound, Asia, because you're the only other one that needs to have a double-double, but she's at 9.2, so season's not over yet, but Asia's just been completely outstanding. She deserves all of the glory that she gets, the commercials, all of the things. This is the face of the WNBA.
Yeah, the Asia Wilson show.
So Lisa Leslie is saying, no, the best player in the league is the face of the WNBA. And it may be to the people who watch the WNBA on a regular basis. If you poll 100 Americans, 99 Americans are going to say that the WNBA, the face of the WNBA is Caitlin Clark. How often do you get that in a sport? You could maybe make the case that is LeBron James, who is no longer the best player in the NBA, still the face of the NBA? I would argue yes.
To the majority of the world that doesn't really watch the NBA, LeBron is the first NBA player they would name, right?
Probably.
We could take this to golf. To the majority of the non-golf watching world, we'll back it up to before Tiger's most recent situation. Us included,
Tiger.
We think Tiger, right? Even when he's nowhere close to that pinnacle at that stage of his career.
We keep trying to manifest him back into the sport.
In the World Cup, arguably the most famous player at the FIFA World Cup, certainly the most followed player on Instagram at the FIFA World Cup, is Cristiano Ronaldo, who is still a massive name in starting games for Portugal, but is nowhere close to the level that Lionel Messi currently is, or that Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe. We could go down a list. Harry Kane, on.
There was a point where Ronaldo was ahead of Messi at their respective careers. Like they've always been compared.
There was a point where it was Ronaldo or Messi, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody kind of stayed in one camp.
So at least,
but Messi's longevity has kind of pushed him up here.
Sure.
And Ronaldo, who is older at 41, he has 670 million Instagram followers. He's the most followed human being on Instagram.
Well, not only is he an athlete, but he's
like a model, basically.
Very good looking, yeah.
And like essentially represents Saudi Arabia at this point and the entire nation and league of Saudi Arabia, the PIF. But that's besides the point.
Just the way they wanted it. Way better investment than Live.
But what's so fascinating is all of those athletes have one thing in common. LeBron, Tiger, Cristiano Ronaldo in the twilight of their career. Whereas Caitlin Clark's just getting started in her career. And
she hasn't accomplished anything of consequence. She never won a title. She's a winning player in college, but she did not win a championship in college. She is thought of as this otherworldly presence. She is not a champion.
Yeah. So it's a big disconnect. But when Lisa Leslie says somebody is the face of the WNBA, I'm going to listen to Lisa Leslie, one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time.
Well, that's coming from an informed perspective, and the amount of hate and blowback and social media just vitriol
from people that do not watch a second of WNBA basketball.
No concept. So, I mean, the toxicity around the WNBA to me is, I don't know why it's become our most politicized league and the toxicity that tends to come with political diatribe, but it's crazy to me. And I have sympathy for Caitlin Clark because I don't think she encourages any of it at all, other than she exists and is a marketable star in that league, and people do gravitate towards her. But this is the cost of a certain kind of fame or fandom. I guess you don't get to pick who your fans are, and hers are just, I don't know. Oof.
Lucas, you asked earlier in the segment, what draws better, the women's Final Four or the WNBA Finals? The women's Final Four in this year's Final Four for the women's averaged roughly 5.2 million viewers. The championship and Final Four games often peak between 9 and 18 million viewers.
Mm-hmm.
The WNBA Finals averaged between 1.5 and 1.6 million viewers.
So it wasn't close.
So 4 times what the women's Final Four in college.
In a down year for the women's Final Four.
It was not competitive. A bunch of blowouts.
Well, they
all
also
one seeds.
Noted that in this article about the WNBA that it was also a down year for their.
What a finish! Norway takes the lead.
Isn't he from Oh, is Erling Haaland Finnish? It would have to be one of the better ones. I can't even tell you a Finnish person.
That was good. UC Saros is Finnish. That was really good.
There's a few Preds.
No, it was not Erling Haaland, but what a strike to put Norway on top.
All right, very good. We'll get caught up on the World Cup action. We can take your phone calls, 615-737-1045 to wrap up the show. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. All right, so Norway in the lead in the early going here. How close are we to half?
A minute away from stoppage time. Here.
Okay. World Cup action today. You've got 2 more matches after this as we work our way through the knockout round with, 32 teams at the start of this. We talked yesterday briefly, and by the way, we can take your phone calls on the Caitlin Clark discussion if you have comments, 615-737-1045. My position that the WNBA is currently the most toxic league that we have going in American sports, at least with the conversations being had around those leagues. And various leagues have taken turns with that mantle. But we can update people on the World Cup, what to watch in these beyond, I guess, these 2.5 World Cup matches that we have left today here in just a second. Rick is in Bellevue, wants to chime in on the previous conversation. Go ahead, Rick.
How you doing, guys?
Great.
First-time caller. I just wanted to chime in a bit. Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. A'ja Wilson. A'ja is a top 10 record by Steely Dan, and Wilson is a ball that Caitlin Clark sponsors as a sports entity. So I just wanted to put that out there because, she's, driving so much revenue and interest and eyeballs, as you know. And let's see, you said that Ja was going to go play in Portland. Is he playing for the WNBA team in Portland so he can pistol whip the girls when he's done?
It's very funny. Rick's got jokes.
He had me in the first half, I'm not going to lie. As soon as he said A'ja is a Steely Dan song and Wilson is a ball that's sponsored, I was like, oh, okay, he might be funny. And then it just got like a conversation you have with a guy at a grocery store where it's like, okay, buddy, I'm just trying to get a grapefruit.
And that's like the argument, right? Caitlin Clark's the face of the league. She's what brings the eyeballs, the revenues. But like, what happens on the court can matter, right? Like
it
at some point, like A'ja Wilson's dominance on the court is not something I would.
But see, that's what happens.
Yeah,
somebody dismisses a player who's an excellent player.
Yeah, like it does not matter what's actually happening on the court.
It's a ridiculous argument.
Yeah,
it's one of the dumbest things you could possibly say. Is that the great player? And make a joke about, Wilson is just a ball that is a sponsor of Caitlin Clark or whatever the hell.
He's the best player in the league. Like, come on, man.
Yes, I can't. But why? I'm so fascinated about why that happened.
Yeah, it is.
Why
it's a weird thing.
Maybe I don't want to know like the psychological answer to some of that question because I'm sure it's seated in some stuff that I don't necessarily want to have to dive into, and I'm sure as hell not going to make Lucas do that while he's trying to watch World Cup matches. But I think it's a crazy human experiment on kind of people showing their true colors with lack of logic, reason, or actual knowledge about the sport that they are very comfortable commenting on.
Yeah, it's a lazy thing.
Anyway, so we have World Cup action going on right now. We have Norway in the lead over the Ivory Coast. We have 2 other matches today. What should people expect from these matchups?
Kylian Mbappe and France going up against Sweden. France are just the most loaded team. Like, France are the only team in the world that can make you briefly forget they have Kylian Mbappe because they'll have other players pop up with a hat trick within 30 minutes, like Ousmane Dembele did the other day against Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. But Mexico plays tonight. Any chance you get to watch Mexico play a game in Mexico, I think is worth watching. 3 teams in the group stage won all 3 of their group stage matches. They are France, Argentina, and Mexico. They play Ecuador tonight. The place is going to be insane. Mexico City is going to be insane. Robert was showing me videos before the show of Mexican fans, like legions of Mexican fans, parked, circled around the team hotel that Ecuador is staying at at 2 a.m., laying on the horns. Like just making a ruckus outside of the hotel.
Oh, no.
So that's the buzzsaw Ecuador is walking into, and what could be a pretty tight and even matchup, but that is what's happening today. And Norway is about to go into halftime up 1-0 against Ivory Coast. The winner of that one gets Brazil in the round of 16.
We can't be having that. Like, that's funny, but that's awful. We can't be doing that.
It just means more, right? I feel like the SEC.
What still means more to the SEC? The Big Ten has taken football from them. The ACC is taking. Well, who won the College World Series?
It ended up being Oklahoma. The SEC.
Oh, okay. That's right. We said
triumphed over Robert's beloved ACC.
That's right. We said we'd let you have college baseball in a year that we
traditional legacy SEC power Oklahoma.
We're not actively paying attention. College basketball, the SEC has had moments, but it's not their strength. I mean, Florida's a year removed from winning a championship, so I'm mostly poking fun. But yeah, I think the SEC's claim that it just means more is fading slightly. When just if you look at the World Cup, I don't ever want to hear, and I understand that there's tribalism and great passion and energy for college football. I don't want to hear anything ever compared to world soccer again.
I mean, it's like when you think about like the history between two college football teams, typically it comes down to like geography, right? We're just next to each other, so we hate each other. And then there's an organic rivalry that, develops on the field. But it is crazy to look at matchups and say, no, there's like a history of wars and like your ancestors killed my ancestors.
We are actively at war with Iran right now.
Yeah,
they're in the World Cup. I mean, I don't think the U.S. and Iran are going to play.
No, Iran is out. But like Senegal faced up with France in the group stage. So like you've got players playing for Senegal against the nation that literally colonized your nation. Isn't it? Like, just think about that. Think about like just having your headphones in before a game and getting hyped up and like thinking about those things before walking
Civil
out onto
War
the field.
flashbacks.
Like literally, like what?
Not Civil War.
How the French affected like your great grandparents and things like that. Like that's crazy stuff, man. We don't really get that in any other event.
So we'll see how these matches play out later this evening. Hopefully we can get as much fun out of today's slate of World Cup games as we did yesterday, though that will be difficult to top. Is Geodis having another watch party tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be out there again tomorrow night. Hope you guys will come. It's totally free to the public. Hattie B's Hot Chicken has been there, so that should be plenty of incentive to go. There are beer vendors, there's games, concessions in the concourse, but it is in the Publix Plaza right outside of Geodis where there's a huge screen, and it was packed for the Paraguay game. Same thing for the Turkey game. And now the heat is on. It's win or go home. No more safety net. The group stage is fun, man. It's fun vibes. You're excited because the World Cup is here and you get to watch your team play. And even if you lose, you're going to play again. And you're probably going to have pathways to bounce back and get out of the group. Not anymore. It's win or go home against Bosnia, a team that eliminated Italy, so has gone up against giants. They're the reason Italy is not in this World Cup. So come out and hang out. BJ Callahan will be there. He'll be doing a meet and greet with fans. I'll do a Q&A with him on the stage before the game. Game starts at 7 o'clock. Head to NashvilleSC.com to RSVP just to make sure that you secure a spot.
It very quickly turned into self-promotion.
No. That's not what that was. NashvilleSC.com. Come watch the game with your fellow fans.
Come watch me interview the coach.
It's not about BJ. It's about me, Jay.
No, that is if I was doing the interview. Did you guys, I don't want to shoehorn this into the last minute and a half that we have left. You guys talk about this Blaze Taylor trial at all?
No. I mean, this just happened, right? 2 days ago?
He's been arrested for some time.
Well, yeah, but
no, we are in day 6 of the murder trial at this point in time.
Former Titan
Scout Blaze Taylor. He's accused of poisoning his pregnant girlfriend at the time. Both the baby and the girlfriend passed away, Jade Benning, in early 2023. So we are in day 6 of this trial.
Awful story.
It is an insane story. And yes, to your point, with hideous details on it. Maybe we talk about that a little later in the week from some people who are covering that trial, because I feel like that's a pretty big deal to have a former Titan Scout with other former Titan Scouts testifying against him in this murder trial regarding an awful situation that ended up happening. So maybe we'll get to that tomorrow. That's going to do it for us today. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you're hanging out on the live stream, make sure you like the video on the way out the door. We got World Cup action to watch. We will be back at it for one more day tomorrow because we've got a long weekend ahead. See you then.